Alright, well, it is time to finally actually start digging into the car. Brought a bunch of tools from work home. The control arms are here, and the struts are here. So I'm still waiting on CV axles and all that stuff, but I at least wanted to get it tore down, get everything apart, and we'll go from there. We're going to start by getting front brakes off, get the axle nuts off, and get the axles popped out of the wheel bearings. Now we got the axle nut off, brakes are off. There's 3 bolts holding on this lower ball joint. We're going to take those out, that way we can swing the control arm down, get the CV axle fully out of the way. A little tech tip here, but so for example, I'm going to try to reuse the outer tie rod, and to get it out of the knuckle, what you want to do is take your nut and thread it on until the threads are about even with the end of the nut. And then you can take your hammer and smack it right there to get it popped up and get it out of the knuckle. Or if you have enough room and enough hands, you take the nut completely off, stick a pry bar in here, pry up here, and then you want to strike the knuckle right there, and that should get it to pop up and out of there. So once we got the tie rod and the ball joint off, we were able to swing this up and out of the way and get the CV out. Now this is where you can see why the car wouldn't move under its own power. The way that a CV works is in those little grooves, there should be balls in there that sit in that cage with this around it, and that lets it move and articulate. But you can see there, the cage is broken and all the balls fell out. I don't think any of them are in here. Oh, there's one. I think that's the rest of the cage. Yeah, that's the rest of the cage. So you can see where that should be sitting in there. Then these balls sit in right there, and that's what the CV shaft is, essentially. Now, before we go fighting to get the CV axle out, I think I just want to get the knuckle off and out of the way. Since we're taking the strut out anyway, let's just get it out of the way now. Still got to get the ABS sensor out with that little 5mm hex. And then we'll take a pry bar after we take that off, get in there, try to spread the knuckle apart, and hit up here with a hammer as hard as I can, and hopefully it comes off pretty easy. And we now have the knuckle and the strut out of the way. So next would be getting the CV axle out of there, but I just realized I forgot to grab my triple squares from work. So next, I guess we will go ahead and get the control arm out of here, which is just 2 bolts, and just got the control arm out of there. Now I'm going to go do the other side, but I'm not going to record any of that because there's really no point. It's the exact same on the other side. So I will, I guess, pick this back up once I got tools to get the CV axle out and the rest of the parts come in, and we can start putting this thing back together.